Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to continue our little retro parts test-a-thon, and I believe where we left off in the last one we were looking at my Pentium 2 450. Here it is. And the problem we ran into was, before we could test it, was this very large heatsink that was attached in such a way that we wouldn't be able to install it. And after a little bit of research on this type of cooler for the slot 1 Pentium 2s, I come to find out that this is would be installed this way into the board. There would be like some sort of riser card and it plugged in like this. At least that's all I could find. This would have been a cool little cooler to use, but it's got these little pins here that fit into slots on the bottom here. Well, not on the bottom, on the cooling surface of the processor. And it doesn't let it flip around. It's not symmetrical, so you can't take it from this orientation and put it on this orientation so that the excess fins are out the top. So, ooh. And I don't want to grind these little nubs off, so I went and dug around in my stuff and I found this, which I believe is a Cooler Master Slot 1 cooler. So let's take a look at it. So it's got this graphite, or I don't know. That's not a thermal pad, I don't believe. So I don't know if I'm supposed to put thermal paste on there or not, but I would imagine we have to. And the way this is going to go is these little hooks feed into these slots, like so. Right there. And you turn these little clamps upwards and it's on there now. So I'm going to put some thermal paste between this and then we'll plug it in and we'll see if this works. We'll see if this processor, and by association the motherboard, works. And I've got, of course, if you see my other video on this, I have a couple more slot 1 boards that I want to test and make sure that they work. So let me put some thermal paste on this and we'll slap it together and power it up and see what it does. Alright, I got the Cooler Master installed on there. We got a little thermal paste in between the two, and it just slides down and locks in. And since this is an older slot 1 motherboard, the CPUs are not plug and play. We have to tell it how fast it is. So according to this 4.5 ratio, it'll give us 450 megahertz. We need to do switch 1 on, 2 on, 3 off, 4 off. There's our switches there. So the down position, which we're looking at this upside down, so we gotta go on, off, off, and then 5 and 6. These are our CMOS and clear password switches. So we're going to leave those both off. So let's give it a go. I got, which card do we got in here? I think I got the GeForce 2 is plugged into AGP. And then, we're going to want to put some RAM in there. Okay, I dug out a random stick of SD RAM. So this test here has a lot of unknowns. I don't know if the motherboard works. I don't know if this RAM works. I don't know if the processor works. Let's find out. Alright, here we go. Let's test it out. 3, 2, 1. Life. Fan is running. Hey, there we go. Should be 32. Yep. And then the battery is dead. Awesome. So that's a few of these knocked out. Alright, we're going to continue testing things, and in my last video I talked about not being able to test AGP cards that are 3.3 volt versions because I didn't have an AGP system that had 3.3 volts. Well, That's because I wasn't thinking about the new boards that I have. These are indeed a 3.3 slot. Also compatible with 5 volts, which is this here. You can tell a 3.3 volt AGB card versus a 5 volt AGB card because of these little notches on it. The one in the front indicates 3.3 volts. The one in the back indicates 5 volts. And if it's got both of them, it means it can work, in both of them. We can go ahead and throw our SIS cards in and see if those work. And then we can also test our ATI card, Rage Pro Turbo. So let's start with the SIS cards first. So the SIS cards are both exactly the same card, all the way down to the part number. And you'll notice it says it's a VL01AVHD 8 megabyte. SIS card number 1. Here we go. SIS card number 2. And there we go. ATI Rage Pro AGP card. Why are you nuts? Focus. There we go. And it works. So we are 100% working on the AGP cards that I got in the random box, and we are 0% working on the PCI cards. Good times. So now we're going to test the other 3 motherboards that I have, all slot 1. The last one we tested was an FIC VB601V. This one was the motherboard that I thought come out of a Dell. According to all the research that I've done, it does come out of a Dell. I'm really not 100% sure on the motherboard model number, but when we turn this on, if it's a Dell, it'll probably say Dell somewhere. Let's turn it on. I'll notice right away that the fan isn't coming on for the CPU, and we're not getting anything on the screen. Just notice there's no battery in it, so that might be a problem. I'm going to throw one in there. All right, battery is in. Let's give it a go. Still no CPU fan. All right, well, that's unfortunate because I feel like this board, despite my best efforts, isn't going to turn on. The board we're going to have a look at is my BioStar M6 TBA version 1.3. Well, mine's really a version 1.2, but close enough. This board is probably the worst condition board that I have gotten, minus the fact that the other one doesn't work that we just looked at. But we have some bulged capacitors, we got a broken RAM slot, and we are missing the hold downs for our slot 1 processor. However, plugging it in should work if the board works. So let's find out. Okay, let's give it a go. Come on, baby. It's not complaining, but it's also not turning on. Having a look through the manual, that is the correct orientation for the jumpers for CPU frequency, and still no dice. So my money is on these bulged, leaking capacitors that could absolutely stop it from posting. Maybe I'll order up some capacitors and swap it out. We'll see if we can't get it going. On to the next one. So our last slot 1 board that we're going to be testing is the MSI MS6119. This one is in really good shape. There's no broken RAM slots. There's no bulging capacitors. Everything seems to be in really good shape and all accounted for. So let's power it up and, well, let's see if we can break this terrible trend that we got going. Sort of tried. Here we go. Come on. Break the curse. There we go. Real nice, real nice. All right, it's time to test some hard drives. We're gonna hook them up to the old Pentium 2. Well, actually, it's a Celeron slot 1. Soon to be a Pentium 2 450. But that all depends, because the motherboard that I have in here isn't too amazing. It's out of a Gateway something or other, I believe. And we only have 2 slots for RAM. It's got an onboard AGP Rage, ATI Rage 3D Pro. Is that what's up there? Or something like that? Yeah, it's not super exciting. So maybe I'll look up the specs on all the motherboards I have and see if we can't swap that out of there for something a little bit more exciting, I guess. I really wanted the board with the onboard Yamaha synthesizer on there, but doesn't seem to work. We'll see if we can't get that one working again. Anyways, let's see if some hard drives work. So first up, we're going to do the Fujitsu MPE 3136, the 13.66 gigabytes. Alright, I'm trying to format this disk, and we're running into some issues, so we'll see what happens. Okay, well that took a while, but we finally got it formatted. Seems to be doing okay. I had to set up a little fan on it because it was getting very warm. Get your fingers out of the way. Now let's run a test on it. So I know it's not the be-all end-all test, but we're just going to run some error checking on it. Okay, so we're going to run a thorough scan on it. We're going to do a standard test plus scan the disk for surface errors and go. This is going to take a little while. See you in a few. Didn't think it'd take this long. Finally finished the scan. Unfortunately, this morning when I checked the computer, it had locked up or wouldn't wake up, so I had to restart the computer. But anyways, we came back into it, and it looks like everything is good to go for that drive. So I'm going to do my other two. I'm going to do those off camera unless something weird happens, and I'll give you the update when I know that they're done. Okay, so on this one, I decided just to run the format and use its results as confirmation that it works, and it looks like this one does work. There was system files on here. There was actually an entire OS and somebody's old files from their old computer. So it seemed to be working just fine. So on to the next one. All right, the next one didn't take nearly as long as the previous one. I mean, of course, because it's only 4 gigs, so on to the next one. All right, final drive. Pretty much seems to be fine. It's kind of a shock that the IDE hard drives would be okay, and I have a couple of video cards and motherboards that are not, considering these things are like glass. So, cool. Well, I think we're going to end this one here. We tested quite a bit of hardware, motherboards, 3.3 volt AGP cards, IDE hard drives. We tested a lot of stuff today, and we had a couple of motherboards that were dud, but maybe they can be fixed somehow. I kind of hope they could be. I really like that Dell board with the onboard sound. I was kind of hoping to put it into this PC here, so yeah, we'll see what we can't do. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyways, still got a little bit of stuff to test. I got those hards. I've got those sound cards that I need to test, and then I also have that ISA Ethernet card to test. So we'll do that in the next one. And then what I think my plans are is I want to go through the hardware that I have and then build the best Pentium 2 system I can. I want to build the best one that I can with the hardware that I have. So that'll be another video for another day. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and a subscription if you aren't already subscribed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks very much.